ever since wide receiver Casey Washington was drafted by the Falcons, it was something about him that I liked. I looked at a little bit of tape on him, saw what his measures was, and I think that this guy could be an absolute steal for the Falcons. And I was going to do a video about him at some point, but I will tell you this: somebody else in the media beat me to it. Not necessarily a video, but an article. Shout out to the Falcon Report, SI.com. If you've been following the channel, I've been touting these guys, a whole lot throughout the years. They're probably like the most fair and balanced and honest when it comes to Falcons coverage. There's a lot out there when it comes to the Falcons, but I will say SI.com, Falcons Report, they've always been fairly consistent with being, honest and fair about the Falcons. So I'll have the link down in the description to this article talking about Casey Washington. And one of the reasons, and I'll also give you one of the reasons why I feel like this kid could be a steal. So let's look at this article. I'm going to skim through it and give you my thoughts and opinions, as well as, what I think of the wide receiver. Overlooked to the Falcons, Atlanta Falcons, Casey Washington still carries a chip on my shoulder. Falcons 6th round receiver Casey Washington is no stranger to having the odds stacked against him. Let's see. When Casey Washington was navigating through recruiting during his playing days, there we go, through his playing days at Texas at Pfluger Hill, I think that's the right high school, he had little idea of getting started. Washington's father was a receiver at K-State from 87 to 89. Okay, that sounds good. Let's keep going. The younger Washington was confined to watching his friends get recruited until his mom, Jennifer, found all the recruiting camps in nearby colleges. And at one camp, he checked rivals' ranking and he saw that he was just a 2-star receiver. Dejected and disappointed, Washington just went back to work. Now, just with that alone, he's not being, let's say, deterred about what people say. He just know he has to work harder. And if you're want to make an NFL roster, these are the type of things you're going to have to do. You got to continue to push yourself, got to continue to be working as hard as you can at the highest level so you can get, recognition. So it all starts, in high school. A lot of these guys all starts in high school. He received his first offer from Houston Baptist as an assistant head coach, Shannon Kelly, with other offers including Kansas, South Alabama, Tulane, and UTSU. And where he fell in love with the head coach, and he fell in love with the head coach who he met through camp in June 16, 2018. And then third year, Illinois boss Lovie Smith, a former head coach of Chicago Bears, and soon later Texans. So basically, I guess Lovie Smith, the one that called him and wanted him to play for the Illini. And Washington's offer came the next day. He received a full ride scholarship a month and a half later. With that, with the undervalued and overlooked Washington, suddenly found his new home. Okay, so from there, he created a huge chip on the shoulder. That chip was created during the 2024 NFL draft pre-draft process when Washington didn't receive any NFL Combine invite and it sat idly by his television for over 4 hours on the draft day. But 187 overall selection, Washington dreams was realized as the Atlanta Falcons made him one of the 3 6th-round picks. He said his heart dropped after the phone call. Perhaps it was stress at the end of the day process and football journey. Regardless, in his eyes, he finally reached a point of validation. I want to say this. Look, it's always a good feeling. I know these guys get a great feeling when they're drafted, and it's absolutely awesome. And this is something that a lot of football players, will never forget. But let's keep on going into the story right here. It says that Washington met with all 32 teams at the East West Shrine Bowl, but held a private visit with the Falcons. That's really interesting. After getting to know the members of the Atlanta staff, the Washington said that he was excited about the possibility of potential pairing. Still, the draft process, he said, is crazy. Entering the third and final day, he had no idea where he ended up. He saw other teammates get drafted and how real the event was. When it was his turn, his emotions poured out. He said after that, and thereafter, it felt like a dream and anticipated tears later that night. Yeah, I mean, you just got to understand. This is a guy. I want to see, do they have his, okay. This is a guy who basically he has a 40-inch vertical. That's awesome. runs a 4.4, 6 foot, 200 pounds. This is a pretty good sized guy, but nobody really looked into him except for the Falcons as far as a private meeting. I like the process that they're going through to scout players. Nobody's looking at this guy, and basically, he could be an absolute steal. At his time at Washington, he had 49 receptions and 670 yards in 2023. His career tally shows, and for his career, he had 122 grabs for 1508 and 4 touchdowns across 50 games, and he started 22 games. All right, I'm gonna tell you this. This is the type of guy you would want on your team. This is the type of guy you would want on your team because he knows he's going to have to work for everything that he does. He's going to have to work for it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Everything, and he knows that what it takes to work for where you want to go at. Like I said, he started as a 2-star, and he worked his way up to getting a couple of offers, and Lovie Smith liked him. And even when he was playing at, in Illinois, he's a fairly solid dude. Like, Illinois is not known for like big time football, but it was enough for him to actually, get a look with the Falcons. Went to the East and West Shrine Bowl, and they liked what they saw. Nice size at 6 foot, 200 pounds. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if Zach Robinson and them put this guy in a position to succeed. Like, I really think that this is a guy. You got Mooney, you got Drake, you got Moore. I really believe that Mooney is more of a slot guy. I don't think he's a number 2. And I'm not saying that Washington will end up being number 2. They may bring somebody else in, but I'm pretty sure they're banking on this. And with all the weapons that you have, with the Drake London, Darnell Mooney, you got Moore. I think his name's Moore. Yeah. You got Moore. You got Ray. You also have Kyle Pitts. You got Bijan Robinson. You got so many guys that they can throw the ball to. It's not as much pressure for him to be wide receiver number 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in that position to run some routes and have him out there. And with all the other guys that are going to have so much attention on them, I would not be surprised this guy has a really solid season. I'm talking about possibly 400 to 500 yards receiving because of the pass-happy offense that we're going to be, and everybody else going to have so much attention on them. Washington could be a guy that could break out and have, one of those, sensational rookie seasons. Well, I think he'll be rookie of the year. Nah, I don't think he's going to be that, but I think he's going to be a piece of this offense with his size and his strength. You got almost a 40-inch vertical at 6 foot, 200 pounds. He can, you just never know what type of receiver you can get. I can see this guy could be a tweener between a slightly good route runner and a possession guy. That's something that, the Falcons could use in the Zach Robinson offense. So I feel like this is an absolute steal. I know there's other receivers out there people are talking about, and there was a really good receiver class, but I think when you have an offense like the way we have with the Falcons, everybody can eat. Everybody's going to be good. You're going to have at least 3 or 4 guys with touches. And with a guy like this, I don't think nobody's going to really be paying attention to Casey Washington right now. He could sneak up on a lot of people. I'm not saying he's going to be the new Puka. I think it's Puka, the guy from the LA Rams, but you never know how it may play out. Nobody saw him coming through, and look what he did. Could Casey Washington be that guy? Like I said, and I'm going to say this one more time before I get out of here. With the way that the offense is set up, everybody's looking at Drake. Everybody's looking at Kyle. Everybody's going to be looking at Bijan. Everybody's going to be looking at Darnell Mooney. Nobody's going to be, they're not even going to have the personnel to really look at Casey Washington like that. And if he could just catch the ball, he could be a problem. So let me know what y'all think. I think this is an excellent, read. I mean, I'm going to put the link down in the description. You can check this out. I think this guy could be a really good receiver for the Falcons. 6th round still. I really believe that. But yeah, I'm going to get up out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.